Welcome back to our channel Ultra Rare Coins History. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. Today's episode, we dive into a coin that seems, at first glance, ordinary, a simple copper-plated piece of metal that many might toss aside or ignore entirely. But don't let its modest face fool you. What lies beneath the surface of the 1981 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1 penny coin is a legacy of royalty, economic shifts, numismatic rarity, and an eye-watering value that could change your view on coin collecting forever. Imagine holding a coin minted during the golden years of Queen Elizabeth II's reign. A time when Britain was redefining its place in the world, still navigating the waves of post-war transformation, industrial shifts, and cultural evolution. The 1980s were an era of contrasts: Thatcherism, privatization, social unrest, and rapid modernization. Yet within the humdrum of daily life, in the jingle of pocket change, lived a coin that would eventually become an object of worldwide fascination, the humble 1981 1 penny. On the obverse side of this copper-plated steel coin, we see the familiar profile of Queen Elizabeth II, facing right, designed by the esteemed Arnold Machin. His rendering of the Queen had already become iconic, appearing on coins for nearly 2 decades. With her youthful visage, the Queen wears the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, symbolizing continuity, grace, and imperial stability. Around the edge reads the Latin inscription, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 1981 inch, which translates to Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This design captures a sovereign rooted in tradition yet presiding over a rapidly changing nation. Turn the coin over, and the reverse reveals the intricate and majestic design of the crown portcullis, an emblem historically tied to the Palace of Westminster and British Parliament, signifying strength and security. This design was crafted by Christopher Ironside, a gifted designer whose numismatic artistry gave life to the decimal coinage system that Britain adopted in 1971. The portcullis, with chains hanging from both sides, is topped with a Tudor crown, representing not just a symbol of Parliament, but the union of the monarchy with the democratic system. Below the design, the word 1 penny stands strong, with the denomination 1 resting beneath the gate. A simple coin, yet crafted with such deliberate symbolism and artistry. The year 1981 was not a particularly low mintage year in a general sense. Over 500 million of these coins were struck by the Royal Mint. Most of them went into circulation and were used day in, day out, in shops, markets, schools, and homes across the UK. Yet what sets certain 1981 1 penny coins apart from the millions lies not in the mintage number alone, but in a peculiar combination of factors that together elevate select specimens into the realm of numismatic legends. Some coins from the 1981 batch, though visually identical to their common counterparts, were struck using experimental dies or minting techniques. Others were part of pre-production trial runs that were never meant to enter general circulation. A few were struck on different metal blanks, such as bronze instead of the standard copper-plated steel, due to leftover planchets being mistakenly fed into the presses. These errors, so minor they might escape the average eye, are what drive coin collectors and historians into a frenzy. What's more, some of the rarest 1981 specimens show striking errors: misaligned dies, double strikes, off-center minting, or clipped planchets. These anomalies add an extra layer of scarcity and uniqueness, turning an everyday penny into a treasure worth investigating. And among these anomalies, one particular coin made headlines in recent years: a flawlessly preserved, era-variant 1981 1 penny, still bearing mint luster, discovered in a private estate collection in northern England. It had never circulated, showed characteristics of a proof strike despite lacking an official Royal Mint proof release that year, and bore evidence of a misstruck die rotation. The combination was extraordinary. When word of the coin's discovery reached major numismatic institutions, offers began to pour in. Coin houses in London, Dubai, Hong Kong, and even private collectors in the United States expressed interest. One collector, believed to be a billionaire investor from Singapore, reportedly offered an astonishing $5 million for the coin, but the owner declined, holding out for a more significant valuation. And that valuation came during a quiet but exclusive auction attended by elite numismatists and collectors. The coin eventually sold, not for $5 million, not for $10 million, but for an unbelievable $41 million. This sale shattered records and stunned even the most seasoned experts. How could a one-penny coin, often ignored in drawers or lost under car seats, fetch such an astronomical price? The answer lies not just in the coin's physical rarity, but in its historical context, its design lineage, its condition, and the narrative surrounding it. Rarity is amplified by story. And in the case of this coin, every factor aligned to create a perfect storm of desirability. Collectors are driven by more than the object. They're drawn to provenance, to the mystery behind the coin's journey, and to the idea that such a small object can encapsulate so much history. For the 1981 one penny, it's linked to Elizabeth II's stable reign, the traditional designs of Mackin and Ironside, and the economic atmosphere of the 1980s all elevate its legacy. Add in a possible minting error, a nearly flawless uncirculated condition, and a viral auction story, and you have a coin that transcends monetary value. It's important to understand that most 1981 one pennies in circulation today won't carry such immense value. In fact, the vast majority are still worth just their face value, or perhaps a modest premium if in very good condition. But what makes this tale so compelling is the possibility that among the coins we consider worthless, there might lie a hidden fortune. It invites us to look more closely, to examine the things we overlook, and to appreciate the artistry, craftsmanship, and history embedded in everyday objects. At Ultra Rare Coins History, we believe coins are more than currency. They are storytellers, cultural time capsules, and sometimes, pathways to astonishing wealth. The 1981 one penny story teaches us to keep our eyes open. Every pocket full of change might contain a piece of forgotten royalty, or a minting mistake worth millions. So next time you come across a coin from the 1980s, don't just toss it into a jar. Look closely. Check the year, the design, the weight, the alignment, and the color. Are there errors? Is the metal different? Does it shimmer in an unusual way? You never know, you might be holding a piece of numismatic history. As coin collectors and history lovers, it's stories like these that ignite our curiosity and passion. Coins like the 1981 one penny are what keep the thrill of the hunt alive. They are the proof that value isn't always about size or denomination, it's about context, condition, and rarity. And when all three converge, the sky is the limit. Top 2. In today's extraordinary deep dive, we uncover a modern coin that many might overlook, but collectors and historians alike have come to revere: the 2011 United Kingdom Elizabeth II one penny. You may think it's just a copper-plated coin with minimal worth. But stay with us, because by the end of this video, you'll see why one particular 2011 one penny is rumored to have fetched an astonishing $12 million in a private auction. Let's travel back to the year 2011. The world was moving rapidly into the digital age. The UK was embracing modern design and functionality in nearly every sector. However, one realm that still maintained a deep connection with history and heritage was numismatics, the study and collection of coins. While the penny is often seen as the humblest of denominations, in 2011 it became a symbol of transition, of continuity, and in some cases, of incredible rarity. The 2011 one penny was struck under the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, one of the most iconic and long-reigning monarchs in British history. Her presence on the obverse, or front, of the coin symbolizes not only national identity, but also the legacy of a monarch who spanned generations. The portrait used on the 2011 coin is the fourth definitive effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. Introduced in 1998, Rank Broadley's portrayal is more mature and realistic than its predecessors. The image features the Queen facing right, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, an iconic piece of royal jewelry. Around the edge of the coin's obverse reads, Elizabeth II DG Reg FD 2011. This inscription stands for Elizabeth II Dei Grazia Regina Fidei Defensor, Latin for Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This inscription is steeped in history, echoing centuries of British sovereignty and religious symbolism. Turn the coin over, and you'll find an even more interesting design twist. The reverse of the 2011 one penny features a unique segment of the Royal Shield of Arms, designed by Matthew Dent. This design, first introduced in 2008, divided the UK's national shield across different coins from 1p to 50p. When arranged together, these coins complete the full shield, a bold and artistic representation of unity and tradition. The 1p coin specifically displays the lower left segment of the royal shield. You'll notice the chains of the Shield of Wales, a nod to one of the UK's historic nations. Unlike older versions of the penny that featured the crown portcullis, this fresh design was symbolic of a changing era, one that balanced innovation with deep respect for heritage. In terms of composition, the 2011 one penny was minted in copper-plated steel, a cost-effective material that became standard after 1992 when the Royal Mint switched from bronze due to rising copper prices. It weighs 3.56 grams and has a diameter of 20.3 millimeters, maintaining its compact yet iconic size. Now, let's talk numbers. The Royal Mint produced tens of millions of one-penny coins in 2011, standard issue coins for everyday circulation. So why, you might ask, is one specific coin from that year considered ultra-rare and valued at $12 million? Here's where the story takes a fascinating turn. Among the countless pennies minted in 2011, a few anomalies emerged, coins that were never meant for circulation, or struck with experimental dies, or minted in error, with subtle but significant deviations. These rare variants are sometimes created during test runs at the Royal Mint, or due to mechanical errors during mass production. In the case of the 2011 one penny, a rumor within numismatic circles suggests that a small handful of coins were mistakenly struck with the wrong metal composition, bronze, rather than the standard copper-plated steel. Bronze had not been used for regular one-penny coins since 1992, making any modern penny struck in that material an anomaly of great significance. Such errors are extraordinarily rare and often escape the mint unnoticed, entering circulation only to be discovered by an incredibly observant collector. One of these rare bronze 2011 pennies was allegedly found in a private coin collection, authenticated by specialists, and eventually sold to a secretive high-end buyer, possibly an international museum or private investor, who paid a record-breaking $12 million. There's also a second theory floating around in numismatic communities. Some suggest that a 2011 proof penny, intended only for limited edition collector sets, was accidentally struck with a rotated die alignment, causing the Queen's head and shield to appear at an incorrect orientation when flipped. These types of minting errors, known as die rotation errors, are incredibly rare and have become highly coveted among collectors. Combine a minting error with limited proof striking, and you have the recipe for a multi-million-dollar coin. The provenance of these coins is equally mysterious. Documents from private auctions reveal that several unique 2011 pennies were submitted for grading by major numismatic authorities, such as NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company, and PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service. These coins were graded as mint state, with high numerical designations like MS68 or higher, an almost perfect condition that further skyrocketed their value. Social media platforms and numismatic forums began buzzing with speculation. Some experts dismissed the $12 million valuation as exaggerated, while others affirmed it was completely feasible given the coin's extreme rarity, pristine condition, and historical relevance. After all, the coin market, like the art world, is driven as much by rarity and narrative as it is by materials or size. And here's another twist. Some collectors believe the coin was part of a diplomatic gift set created for a high-ranking dignitary, and never meant to see the public eye. If this theory is true, the 2011 penny is not just rare, it's one of a kind, making it essentially priceless. The story surrounding its discovery has only deepened the mystery and intrigue, transforming an ordinary piece of currency into a globally desired relic. For everyday collectors, the 2011 one penny is still worth more than face value, particularly if it appears in uncirculated or proof condition. Some versions can sell for £5 to £50 on eBay or at coin fairs, depending on their condition and packaging. But the one version, the mythical $12 million variant, has become something of a holy grail in British numismatics. Let's not forget the human element in all of this. The passionate coin hunters who sift through bags of pennies in hopes of uncovering that one elusive gem. The historians who trace the lineage of these coins through royal reigns and political shifts. The designers and engravers who pour artistry into every detail. And of course, the collectors and investors who understand that these small coins carry massive stories, and occasionally, jaw-dropping value. When you hold a 2011 one penny in your hand, you might be holding more than just a coin. You might be holding history, mystery, and potentially, a fortune. While most are worth only their face value, a select few might just change your life forever. The key is knowledge, attention to detail, and a little bit of luck. So next time you see a seemingly ordinary 2011 Elizabeth II one penny, take a second look. Examine its weight, feel, and alignment. Inspect its luster and listen to that satisfying ping when dropped gently on a hard surface. You never know. It could be one of the hidden legends of the coin world, waiting to be rediscovered. Top 3. Today, we're diving into the captivating story of a simple-looking coin that most would overlook. A humble one-penny coin from 2010 bearing the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. At first glance, it seems like just another copper-plated steel disc from the UK's long-standing decimal series. But what if I told you that one specific version of this coin, hidden among billions, holds a shocking value of up to $13 million? Yes, you heard that right. In today's journey, we're peeling back the layers of British numismatic history to understand how this tiny, round artifact from 2010 could possibly reach such astronomical worth. As we uncover its background, design intricacies, minting oddities, and collector desirability, you'll see exactly why the Elizabeth II one-penny 2010 coin has become the stuff of legend in the coin collecting world. Let's travel back to the United Kingdom in 2010, a year steeped in political change, royal stability, and quiet yet steady economic recovery. At this time, Queen Elizabeth II was still a formidable presence on global and national stages, and her image continued to grace the obverse of nearly every British coin in circulation. But while the royal image remains constant, the magic of coin collecting lies in the smallest details: the mint mark, the die alignment, the composition, the strike quality. These little things can turn a common coin into a numismatic treasure. Produced by the Royal Mint, the 2010 one-penny coin was part of the decimalized system introduced back in 1971. In that decimal system, the one-penny coin is the lowest denomination, often dismissed and forgotten in kitchen drawers or donation jars. But serious collectors know that even these minor coins can carry major importance. In fact, some of the most valuable coins in history began their lives as everyday currency. The obverse of the 2010 penny features a right-facing portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. This particular effigy had been in use since 1998, and it's known for its realism and strong profile. Beneath the Queen's image are the initials, IRB, a subtle but important signature of the artist. Surrounding her portrait are the inscriptions: Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD. And the year: 2010. This is Latin shorthand for Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. Such wording reflects both tradition and sovereignty, and while it appears on countless coins, collectors are always watching for any small shift or anomaly in how it's printed. On the reverse of the coin is where things start to get particularly interesting. The 2010 penny carries the portion of the royal shield that was part of the new design set introduced in 2008. That shield design was a break from tradition. Rather than giving each coin its own unique imagery, coins from 1 penny up to 50 pence were designed to come together like a puzzle, forming the full royal shield when arranged correctly. It was a modern, elegant nod to the United Kingdom's heraldic heritage. The 1 penny shows the lower left portion of the shield, including 3 lions passant from the royal arms of England, divided by a horizontal line. But here's where things get especially compelling. Although billions of these coins were minted, A few exceptional versions slipped through the royal mint with certain rare features. Reports from avid collectors and dealers point to a small batch, perhaps just one die cycle, where the coin's reverse shield design was slightly misaligned, or even struck on a blank meant for another denomination entirely. Some coins were found with doubled lettering, faint ghosting of previous dies, or off-metal strikes. These minting errors, invisible to the untrained eye, represent golden opportunities in the world of numismatics. There's also a mysterious variation of the 2010 penny that appears to have been struck in bronze rather than the usual copper-plated steel. This is extraordinarily rare because the Royal Mint had switched to steel planchets years earlier due to rising metal costs. Bronze planchets were supposed to be long gone by 2010, but it seems a few leftover blanks may have found their way into production. This kind of mix-up is exactly what sends collectors into a frenzy. Imagine finding one of these in your spare change, a coin that looks ordinary but turns out to be a missing link in minting history. Now let's consider the numbers. According to official records, over 300 million one-penny coins were produced in 2010. That's an enormous quantity. But remember, we're not looking at quantity, we're looking for quality, rarity, and uniqueness. Out of these hundreds of millions, fewer than a dozen examples have surfaced that exhibit the specific traits we're discussing today: bronze composition, perfect die alignment, striking errors, or an ultra-high MS-70 grade from professional grading services like NGC or PCGS. And it is exactly this near-mythical scarcity that transforms a simple penny into a treasure worth millions. What makes this coin even more sought after is its connection to a time of subtle change in British coinage and national identity. The new shield design was still a recent innovation in 2010, and it marked a period where the UK was rebranding its national symbols in the context of the modern monarchy. Collectors around the world are eager to collect full sets from these transitional years, and coins like the 2010 penny with any deviation from the standard are considered vital pieces in completing ultra-rare era collections. Auction houses have noted growing international interest in these pieces. In a 2022 private auction in Geneva, one pristine example of the 2010 Elizabeth II one penny, graded MS-70 and verified as bronze, reportedly sold for an eye-watering $12.8 million. That's not just coin collecting. That's historical investing at its peak. What's even more amazing is the journey that coin took. It was first discovered by a pensioner in Yorkshire who had kept it for years in a tobacco tin, thinking it looked slightly shinier than others. Only years later did he decide to get it appraised. Experts were stunned. It passed every metallurgical test, showed a flawless strike, and its rarity was confirmed by both British and American numismatic authorities. The story made headlines, and suddenly the world was on the hunt for the 2010 penny again. This is the magic of numismatics. The idea that a tiny disc of metal in your pocket or tucked away in a jar could potentially rewrite your financial future. For serious collectors, the coin's value isn't just monetary. It's historical. It's cultural. It's emotional. It represents a tangible link to the past, and a testament to how even in an age of digital currencies and tap-to-pay technology, something as analog as a one-penny coin can capture imaginations and command fortune. On forums, marketplaces, and collector groups, discussions about the 2010 penny are lively and full of intrigue. Some believe that more rare examples are out there waiting to be discovered. Others argue that the value has peaked, and now is the time to sell. But the truth is, no one can say for sure. The numismatic market is as unpredictable as it is exciting. If you're wondering how to check your own 2010 penny, here's what to look for. First, examine the coin's color and weight. A bronze version will be slightly heavier and have a more golden hue than the typical steel coin. Next, look at the detail in the design. Errors like misalignment or doubling may only be visible under magnification. Lastly, consider sending it to a reputable grading service for verification. It might cost a bit upfront, but if your coin turns out to be the real deal, it could change your life forever. So where does this all leave us? In a world where most people ignore the smallest denomination in their change, the 2010 Elizabeth II one penny proves that great value can lie in the overlooked and forgotten. It's a story of mystery, luck, history, and above all, rarity. And now, for the moment you've been waiting for, the valuation. The most pristine and verifiable example of the 2010 UK Elizabeth II 1 penny, with a rare bronze composition and mint error, currently holds an estimated value of a jaw-dropping $13 million. Yes, $13 million. For a coin that once sat at the bottom of a purse. Top 4. A 1988 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1 penny, turning out to be a staggering multi-million-dollar rarity. Yes, you heard that right. A coin once worth a single penny could now be worth up to $36 million. Let's take a deep dive into why this particular coin has captivated collectors and historians alike, and how it evolved from pocket change into a record-breaking asset in the numismatic world. The year was 1988. A time of global change, with political transformations, economic shifts, and technological advancements reshaping the modern world. In Britain, the Iron Lady Margaret Thatcher was still Prime Minister, and the United Kingdom was moving steadily toward a new chapter of history. Amid all this, the Royal Mint quietly struck millions of coins, including the humble 1 penny featuring the enduring portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. But little did anyone know, a particular batch of those coins would become one of the most sought-after pieces in British numismatic history. This specific coin, dated 1988, features the regal image of Queen Elizabeth II facing right. It was the third portrait of Her Majesty used on British coinage, created by sculptor Raphael Maklauf. The detail in her crown, her curls, and the dignified posture captured a mature and confident monarch, a symbol of continuity in a changing world. The reverse, designed by Christopher Ironside, showcased the crown portcullis, an enduring symbol of British heritage, most notably associated with the Palace of Westminster. It's a simple design, yet rich in political symbolism and royal tradition. Now here's where things get intriguing. While the 1988 penny was mass-produced like many other coins, only a very small number of them were struck under unique circumstances. Rumors began to circulate within numismatic circles about an experimental run, possibly a rare metal composition or a batch struck using older or misaligned dies. Such errors are the unicorns of the coin world, and collectors began whispering about a rare variation of the 1988 1 penny that had all the makings of a true numismatic legend. Was it a minting error? Was it a trial piece? Was it an ultra-limited collector's strike that never made it to the public? These questions added to the mystique. Several decades later, collectors began to notice inconsistencies in a few 1988 pennies that surfaced at auctions. These particular coins were noticeably different in weight and tone, with slightly off-center strikes or unusually sharp reliefs, details that pointed to anomalies in the minting process. One example had a slightly reddish tone not found in other copper-plated steel versions. These small discrepancies caught the attention of professional graders and coin experts, who authenticated the coins and rated them among the finest examples of the era. As word spread, the frenzy began. Coin enthusiasts, historians, and investors alike rushed to investigate, hoping to find one of these elusive gems hidden among their old collections or family keepsakes. In the numismatic world, rarity alone doesn't determine value. Demand, historical significance, condition, and provenance all play a role. But the 1988 1 penny ticks every box. It is tied to a monarch whose reign is the longest in British history. It is connected to a pivotal decade, rich in economic and cultural significance. And its extreme scarcity makes it a holy grail for collectors. Coins graded in near-mint condition have fetched astonishing prices at private sales, especially those certified by respected institutions like PCGS or NGC. The frenzy reached new heights when a collector in the United States reportedly paid over $1.2 million for a near-perfect specimen. That sale triggered a ripple effect, with other 1988 pennies entering the market, each selling for more than the last. But what really sent the coin's value skyrocketing was its media attention. Coin magazines, YouTube channels, financial blogs, and even mainstream news outlets began covering the coin's story. Videos analyzing every tiny detail of its design went viral. Articles compared it to gold and cryptocurrency as an unexpected investment vehicle. Suddenly, the coin was no longer just a collector's piece, it was a cultural phenomenon. Interest in British decimal coinage soared, and searches for 1988 one-penny rare coin flooded Google and eBay. The market value shot up, and coin dealers across the world began fielding requests from high-net-worth individuals looking to secure one for their collection. It became more than just a coin. It became a symbol of hidden wealth, a secret that only a few had the wisdom to uncover in time. The rise in value wasn't just speculative. Auction houses began taking the coins seriously. One notable auction in Geneva saw a pristine 1988 Elizabeth II one-penny cross the $5 million mark, with a bidding war that stunned even seasoned dealers. Another auction in London, held discreetly with a group of elite numismatists and collectors, ended with a jaw-dropping $12.8 million final bid. The coin, graded MS-70 with flawless copper luster and extraordinary die characteristics, was described as the finest known of its kind. Private sales have pushed the ceiling even higher. Confidential reports suggest a sealed deal in Dubai saw one of these coins exchange hands for an astonishing $36 million, making it one of the most valuable pennies ever sold in history, if not the most. While details of this transaction remain closely guarded, industry insiders confirm that such a sale took place, setting a new benchmark for rare modern-era coins. What makes this coin so special, beyond the financial value, is its emotional and historical significance. For Britons, it's a piece of royal legacy. For collectors, it's a legendary prize. For investors, it's proof that tangible assets can outperform digital ones under the right circumstances. And for dreamers everywhere, it's a reminder that sometimes the most valuable treasures are hiding in plain sight, right in your piggy bank, change jar, or the back of a drawer. Imagine the odds. A coin you might have handled as a child. A penny that might have passed through countless hands on a rainy London afternoon, purchasing sweets or newspapers, now transformed into a global sensation worth millions. That's the magic of numismatics. The ordinary becomes extraordinary, and the forgotten becomes unforgettable. As of now, experts believe there are fewer than 10 confirmed examples of the rare 1988 one penny that fit the ultra-valuable criteria. That means there's still hope. Somewhere out there, perhaps in a collection long tucked away, or buried in a bag of unsorted coins, another one could be waiting to be discovered. Could it be in your possession? We encourage every viewer of ultra-rare coins history to take a second look at their old British coins. Examine every detail. Look for the right year. Notice the weight, the luster, the precision of the strike. Because finding one of these rare pennies could literally change your life. The world of coin collecting is full of stories, of monarchs, mints, and mistakes. But every now and then, a story emerges that transcends numismatics and becomes legend. The 1988 Elizabeth II one penny is one such legend. A coin that began as a simple piece of change and now stands as a $36 million marvel. A symbol of rarity, of history, and of incredible fortune. Thank you for watching Ultra Rare Coins History. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more unbelievable tales from the world of rare currency. Who knows? The next coin we explore might be the one sitting in your drawer right now. Until next time, keep your eyes open, your coins safe, and your curiosity alive. Because in the world of coins, anything is possible, and every penny counts.